The whole thing about Janis Joplin and the rabbit. 14th December 2013, China's lunar shuttle has landed on the moon. Named Chang'e 3, after the woman some believe lives there. The one I told you about the first time you asked me to tell you a Chinese legend. When all I could recall was something about a rabbit, some potion, someone else's medication, and a very bad goddess woman who had stolen from her husband and floated up into space. You said it sounded like the myth of the Garden of Eden in reverse. That whole thing about the forbidden fruit and banishment, a female body suspended between the sky and the earth. Our own bodies were intertwined on my parents' couch, clothes in a pile of our feet. The moon rabbit woman sounding so random you didn't believe that I didn't just make up that story. The first time we were together, you asked me what I believed in. Caught off guard, I stammered, Jesus, and you said, for some reason I had assumed you were Buddhist. For some reason I assumed that you were the kind of guy who wouldn't assume that. And somewhere in a hotel room far away, Janis Joplin is giving head to some famous guitar-playing poet, and he will go and write a song about this, that you will one day sing to me, admitting he didn't feel all that much for her, but I heard that she didn't think he was all that great either, just thought that maybe one night might give her an insight into his power and mythology. Someone once said that together we looked like Lucy Liu and Mick Jagger. And I was annoyed because I'd always wanted to be mistaken for a Rolling Stone. Because I believed that white boys had the market cornered on immortality. All I meant was I liked the way that you moved your hips on stage, thought maybe talking to you might help me decipher the rhythm, but then you had to go and write a whole space opera about it, put me in a skin-tight silver catsuit with my hair down to my knees. And somewhere, I'm telling you the story about a friend's sham wedding, and you don't believe that that's not a story I just made up in my head when I tell you that if we got married, the border agency would just assume that I did it for the citizenship. And I'll try and forgive you when you say that I'm the one who doesn't get it, because we know that you've lived more years on this planet, on this little island than me, because now I'm the one dripping hysterical tears onto your chest. See, I never wanted to marry you. I just wanted your secret formula for immortality. And somewhere in a room far away, you are giving me head on an unmade bed, and I'm trying to figure out how much I'm actually enjoying it, wondering if this ever gave you any insight into my poetry. And some say that Chang'e would have been nothing without her man who saved the world from 9 suns burning to win his own stash of eternity, and you always said that Janis Joplin would still be around if she had gotten into acid instead of dope and whiskey. And I tended to agree with most things that you said, but maybe the truth is everyone has different definitions of immortality. And somewhere there is a one-way plane ticket back to Singapore on my table. You see it as a life sentence. I see it as never having to hear you tell me what to do again. And somewhere she is jumping from a window ledge, knows that she's just been seen. Somewhere they find her body slumped in a corner. Coroner's report will say no sign of trauma, because she's taken too much of her lover's medication again. She's falling up into a sea of black holes and unnamed constellations, blowing kisses at a disgraced Eve, falling headlong towards Earth. Meeting her halfway, she whispers, "This could always be worse." 14th of December, 2013. China's lunar shuttle has landed on the moon. Name Chang'e 3 for the woman some believe lives there, and now there's a lunar rover called the Jade Rabbit up there as well. So maybe now you will believe that story I told you about the rabbit and the woman orbiting the Earth, because you couldn't just make this up. Who would have believed it anyway? A furry forest creature and some girl finally cracking the code for immortality.